Every month, my wife got a headache. Not a mild one, but a proper stress-induced lip blister producing headache. And I noticed these started showing up right before or shortly after we sat down to do a budget. See, I thought I was being a responsible husband. She felt like she was being interrogated. And quietly, slowly, the monthly budget was threatening to end our marriage. Today, we're going to tell you what we ended up doing instead and how that turned things around for us. We're still married. Get ready. The conversation starts now.
When we had that conversation, we started realizing, low-key, I thought this girl just likes spending money. So when you're talking to the brothers, you're like, guys, I think I made a mistake. Because, hey, but when we had this conversation, I realized, no, it's not wanting to spend for the sake of spending. It's some of the stuff she brought up was actually quite enjoyable. Let's travel. Let's make sure we see the world. If we have children, let's make sure our children also get to see different things, because exposure will help them down the line not to be surprised when life happens. And when she started speaking about legacy, I started realizing, wait a minute, so she cares about the things I care about. The future is important to her as well. So she wasn't against saving. It was just the way I had presented saving was terrible. I had made the budget, and for many of us who've handled the budget before, have you ever felt like it feels like it's like building wealth by restriction? Like you're always having to say no. And sometimes no gets irritating. It's nice to say yes sometimes. And when we started having those conversations, I said, so what would it look like for you? And how much would that cost? And she would write it down. And then I'd start looking at what would saving look like for me, and what do we want to do? And just like that, we began to look at a conscious spending plan. And we built that conscious spending plan into what we call our financial dreams calculator. We've moved away from planning our money monthly. Like we don't have to remind each other groceries people need food. We know that. Why do we have to sit down and talk about that? Let's talk about other more interesting things. So we start saying, what does that look like? What are the needs? Okay, it's this. How much do they have on average cost? And we meet maybe at most 2 times a year to do our dream calculation, because we know what we want. If you want to travel, okay, you want to travel, I want us to be able to save. So what money are we going to put aside? And all we do is ask at the end of each month, I think it's 3 conversations. Have we put the money for saving? Have we invested something? And have we put something towards spending on things that we enjoy? And that's the conversation, right? And that calculator is something that we want to share with you. I think we're going to share with you, I think, over the groups, because we want you to start doing it for yourself. To start saying, if I could just look at my ideal life, what would it look like if I started looking and saying, what are the basics? Because you can't run away from the basics. Are we together? But what are the things that I want? And how can I learn to live a life where I spend without guilt on the things that I love, that energize me, and be ruthless at not allocating money to things that I don't enjoy? Because for us, in our case, it was fear versus faith. But for others, it could be when you join a particular industry, they set standards for you. I remember I worked in investment banking, and one of the things they started giving us was this pressure to say, now that you're an investment banker, you need to wear suits, and you need to buy fancy suits. And I was like, I get sick when I wear suits. I'm boiling in this suit right now, right? And I was like, I don't like this thing, but why am I being forced to buy more and more of these things? Are we together? Or some of you will get into spaces where they say, you need a couple of outfits, or you need to wear this thing, but you don't enjoy. That stuff does not energize you. And I think you must be able to liberate yourself from places where you let someone else make the standards. You know how sometimes we wonder where our money went? It's because we've allowed it to go to places that we have no business letting it go to. They are not important to us. That's why we are surprised. Yatopera. Because it's gone to all the places that do not energize you. But what if you could say, what energizes me first? And that's where my money needs to go. And what are the things we need to make sure that they are always available? Let's put money there. And when we started doing this, we started realizing everything, most of the things in personal finance, it's all spending. Like the one thing we talk the least about is the most important thing when it comes to money, and that's spending. Yeah. Do you know saving is spending? Yes. Saving is a form of putting away money so I can spend it later. Yeah. Investing is spending. Investing is I'm putting money into something else so it grows so I can what? Spend it later. Yeah. So what should we enjoy doing? Spending, right? But how many of us still feel guilty when we talk about spending? It's the most important thing, but we don't talk about it because we haven't framed it in a way that feels responsible. You've got people who tell you, Julian, you guys are flying out on a holiday just to attend 2 days, a wedding, and you're spending 5,000 on that. Do you know how many bricks you could have built? You could have bought with that. Who told you I'm building? Who told you I even want to stay in a house? Are we together? We get pressurized by people and say things that sound good. Because someone has said it's important for you to have a house. It's important for you to send your kid to good schools. But is it? Is it for you? Is it? And is your definition of good school the same definition as them?
No. Yeah.
Are we together?
Yeah.
Because some of these things you may find, you may not need to send them to a private school because you are a better teacher than any teacher they'll get before them. Are we together?
Mm-hmm.
So how we spend our money is we must get to a point where we tell our money where to go. Yeah. And it must go to the things that we want it to go, not what someone else wants you to do with your money. Because if you continuously play to someone else's tune, the ending is never one you like.
True.
Are we together?
Yeah.
I can tell you, and we've desisted from telling people, don't do this, don't do that. We had a couple I was coaching, and we went on holiday, and we'll close with this example. We went on holiday, and it just so happened, you know, you
had spoken to them just a week
before. I coached them a week before, and they were being a bit suspicious in their responses. And then we in Santon, and we are walking, and we meet up with a couple of our friends, and we realize that our friends were their friends, and they were together. And they're like, "Oh, coach!" And they're like, "Yes." And like, "We didn't think you'd be here." And I'm like, "Why?" Because for some reason, if you coach people on how to manage their money, they think if you meet on holiday, they have to apologize for it. Because they're being reckless. And I said to them, "Why are you seeming funny?" And they're like, "No, we didn't want to." The reason why we weren't being clear on what our availability is because we didn't want to tell you we were going on holiday. Because we felt as if you'd look at us and say we're wasting money. And I'm like,
wow.
Where am I?
Wow.
I'm right here with you guys. And we're about to spend some money with you guys. It's not about shying away from the things you want. It's being mindful enough to know that as I spend my money, I'm spending it on the things I love, but I'm not neglecting the things I need. Yeah. All right?
All right, so with that, we're going to share with you the financial calculator on the group. We'll send it to the admin and they'll disseminate it. So you need to be thinking about where to send your money. You need to send your money somewhere. Because if you don't identify that this is for that, your money will go somewhere else. Or someone else will spend it in a way that you will actually cry. So things that are important, we had said we're going to share things that are important to us. We know that, firstly, our tithe, it's a non-negotiable. It's right there at the top. We know we need groceries. We know we've got bills to pay. We know we need to plan for saving, even for those holidays that we love. We know there's school fees for those that have got children. So you need to plan in such a way that is personal to you, but this calculator will also help you to think about it a bit more and to interrogate the figures. And you'll find that it will be a pleasant journey.
Hopefully.